Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Standing in the trenches, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, script man. Hit the block, time to put in work. Precept on precept, that's another verse. See how people dying from a lack of knowledge, so we run up on it, give them to them like college. Knowing who you are, that's a whole lot of power. So return to the covenant, cause yeah, it's ours. You can find yourself all in the book, so go on, open it up. Yeah, take a look, come home. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Standing in the trenches, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, script man. The brother causing pain. Open up the script, read the first book of James. Gotta move in love, that'll get the job done. Need the Father protection, quoting Psalms 91. And plus have faith, yeah, that battle won. Working for the kingdom, trying to get to heaven. Redemption through your hoops, you read Ephesians 1:7. Yeah, the word, the truth. John chapter 8, verse 32, huh? Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Standing in the trenches, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Posted on the block, quoting script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, they call me script man. Hey, they call me script man. Yeah, script man.
Khan, be given blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever.
Khan.
All right. First and foremost, we're going to cover, but this is the satanic view on birthdays. We got to get this one covered because our people are being completely possessed by wicked spirits, and they are actually putting other gods before them. I mean, putting other gods before God when they do this stuff, and they have no understanding about the serious implications behind the actions. They don't know, man. But today, we are going to be able to give our people. We're going to go and give our people a little bit of ammunition that you can give someone that is celebrating their birthdays, but claims that they are followers of Christ. And even if you're not a follower of Christ, you can still be somebody that is against Satanism. This could be somebody that is against Satanism. You can convince them to stop committing that heinous act, which is worshiping themselves, celebrating birthdays. You know, you don't have to be actually religiously acclimated for you to still take this information or to give this information to somebody. Now check this out. Now I'm going to share the screen, and we're going to, excuse me. All right, and let's look at, let me see where I even put that up at. Not bad. I forgot where I even loaded it up at. No. Boom. Okay. Can y'all see my screen?
No.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. This is what it says in the Satanic Bible. I went into the Satanic Bible because, I wanted to understand the foolishness. Even it says in the book of Ecclesiastes. Let me get that real quick, so we'll know that I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? So you don't think that I'm going all off on some weird stuff, you know? Let me make sure I remember where I had that at. Oh, it's right here. Excuse me, just wait a second. Give me a second. Hold on, y'all. I'm running a little behind on schedule today, so just bear with the boy and just have patience, all right? Give me a second.
That's why Rose Moxie. YouTube Premium gives you ad-free videos, mobile downloads, and background play. With it, you also get YouTube Music Premium, a music streaming app that has playlists mixed just for you and the world's largest catalog of songs to enjoy uninterrupted. Try YouTube Premium for 1 month on us and get into what you're into.
There's a few scriptures in there, but we'll look at this. Ecclesiastes 7:25 is the one that I was actually really looking for. All right, so Ecclesiastes 7:25. Let me just put it on the screen so y'all can see this real quick. All right, we go to Ecclesiastes 7:25. He says, I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And birthday celebration is foolishness and madness when you actually just take a closer look and step back and just analyze it. There's always some BS going on that day. People are always unhappy, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's the person that's trying to provide for the quote unquote birthday boy or girl, or it's the birthday girl or boy themselves that is highly disappointed because something didn't meet up to their expectations or whatever. And it's disguised that's supposed to be a happy day, but if you in poverty, man, it turns into just a big fret and a strenuous, stressful day for most people that's actually partaking, except for the one that's becoming deified as a god.
That's right.
No, well, that's real, man. Now watch this. I've seen a lot of BS go on over a birthday.
Come.
Now watch this. This is what the Satanic Bible is saying. So I had to search out what these because I'm gonna let my people know for a fact right here. Lo and behold, you live in the kingdom of Satanists. Okay, what? This is the kingdom of, like, you go over there to the China, and you're gonna see the Chinese is ran and it's whatever God that they got. That's the kingdom of that God. Whatever it is that they believe in. Same thing that goes for the
no, that's in the church.
And everybody else, man. Well, these are all religions. All these religions are based off of a certain geographical location for the most part. You'll see that they derive from a certain area. And in that area, that religion will still be abundant in that area, being practiced abundantly. All right? But what we are failing to realize is that Satanism is a religion also. So you got to say, well, where is that at? Where did Satanism, the religion, where did that come from and what's going on with that? Let me just show you this real quick before we read this. I'm going to show you this guy right here. Look at him. This guy right here, his name is Anton LaVey. All right. This is what you pull up if you look at images of this guy. You know, straight demonic Edomite creep. You know what I mean? Hands down. Now, Anton LaVey, it says right here, he was an American author, musician, and Satanist. He was the founder of the Church of Satan. So the religion of Satan was created. I'm talking about blatantly. Like, I'm blatantly worshiping Satan. The one that's mentioned in the Bible, that the whole New Testament is putting a negative slant on. Yeah, well, we worship that. Well, that was created in the United States, in America, by. It's not a coincidence that he was a musician. All right, Satanism and the music arts, they go hand in hand. They're two peas of the same pot. All right. So he says, so he was the founder of the Church of Satan and the religion of Satanism. What? He authored several books, including the Satanic Bible, the Satanic Rituals, the Satanic Witch, the Devil's Notebook.
Go sit down.
And
go watch TV. What are you doing? What are you doing?
So this right here is some real stuff. This wicked demon was born in 1930. All right. Now let's see.
YouTube Music is a music app.
The people that
and it's your passport to discover the
this
chart
guy's
toppers and
religion.
up-and-comers from all over the planet. Like
Let's see some of the stuff that they're being taught in their instructions.
Get YouTube Music Premium. Try 1 month free.
Oops. Where we going? Where we going with this? Oh, excuse me. All right. Look at this. This is Anton LaVey in his Satanic Bible. All right. Book of Lucifer. All right. Chapter 11, page 96. This is regarding birthdays. This is what the Satanist is pushing right here. I'm trying to, let me zoom in a little bit. All right. Okay. He says, there is an affinity of, excuse me, hold on. I guess that was a little bit better. He says, there is an affinity of such commemoration among the wicked as recorded in the Satanic Bible. All right. The highest of all holidays in the Satanic religion is the date of one's own birthday. So this is the highest holiday. It's like our Sabbath. These people got the birthday as the pinnacle of their practice. This is in direct contradiction to the holy of holy days of other religions, which deify a particular God who has been created in an anthropomorphic form of their own image, thereby showing that the eagle is not really buried. The Satanist feels, why not really be honest? And if you're going to create a God in your image, why not create that God as yourself? That's what you're doing when you're actually practicing
Bring it out.
the birthdays, is you are making yourself a god. And that is exactly what the satanic religious people understand very well that they're doing. It's just that we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. We don't understand what's going on. Even though we call the white man the devil, we never look into his literature about what they believe in and why they are coming up with the stuff that they do. But if you look at it, this is deeply rooted in contradictions of the holy days, man.
That's right.
This is the challenging and the disrespect of God. We look right here in the book of Exodus 20:3. He says, "You shall have no other gods before me." All right? You shall not have no other gods before me. That right there includes you being yourself, and then you shall not make unto you any graven images. So that'll be the other stuff that you would make outside of you deifying yourself. But first and foremost, this verse right here forbids you to worship yourself, because you're not going to see most people bowing down and praying. When I'm talking about most people, I'm talking about black folks in the United States. You're not going to see them bowing down and praying to a statue that they just created out of their own hands. You're not going to see that. That's going to be, I'm not going to say that it never will happen, but I'm saying that that's not something that you're going to see happening on a large scale. What you're going to see is people putting other gods before God by celebrating their own birthday. We even got people that call themselves Israelites. They say that they're in the knowledge of the truth, but they still want to celebrate their own birthday. They don't think that there's anything wrong with it, because they be like, that was the day that God blessed me to be on the earth. And you're like, these are all excuses for these people to just really fully not convert out of their old wicked Babylonish lifestyle and become holy as God said. Watch this. He said, every man is a god if he chooses to recognize himself as one. Ain't that what we always see? I just got done dealing with somebody last night, and that's what the dude was saying. He was trying to convince me that we're gods.
Man, oh yeah.
And I'm just like, man, I'm not trying to take on none of these proud titles. That's a proud poor man that says stupid stuff like that. We're gods and we're kings and we're this and that. No, you're not, man. You are a POW. You are a Gentile-minded, heathen practicing, cotton picking Negro. Like, that's what you really are until you actually address those issues. Other than that, I don't care what you accomplished. I don't care if you got a master's degree or anything. You still ain't doing nothing out here. You ain't actually reversing all the damage that was done on our people. And I'm talking about just mentally. That still is playing out in a lot of our people's minds right now. Such as birthdays and things of this sort. Now watch this. He said, every man is a god. This is what the Satanists is teaching each other. This is what they teach. Every man is a god if he chooses to recognize himself as one. So the Satanist celebrates his own birthday as the most important holiday of the year. And you see that happening still to this day with people that don't even recognize themselves as Satanists. But it becomes the most important holiday of the year. People get upset, turn on people that's supposed to be close to them and everything over a birthday. I'm not saying they permanently turn like they're gonna kill them or nothing, but I'm saying, like, you see it. You know, people will have fallouts over something that went wrong about the birthday. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't be the person that messes up somebody's birthday. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Do you want to be the guy or the gal that messed up somebody's birthday? You know what's going to happen. You're going to be on their hit list or their crap list for a very long time, for many, many moons. He say, after all, this is what they're saying. After all, aren't you happier about the fact that you were born than you are about the birth of someone you have never even met? You know, I mean, that's them tossing crap on a lot of people, including, I'm gonna say they talking to Christians that celebrate Christmas on this one.
Yep.
You know, he says, or for that matter, aside from religious holidays, why pay? See, that's why you know they were talking about a religious holiday. Or for the matter, aside from religious holidays. So what holiday was you implying? Oh, Christmas. Why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history that we do? I mean, then we do to the day we were brought into
a day that's in history. That's that's holy days.
Right. Exactly. Passovers and Sabbaths and Christmas. You know, they made that one apply to the, I guess, the Christian faith. But you guys get what I'm saying. You get my drift. He says, why pay higher tribute to the birthday of a president or to a date in history than we do to the day that we were brought into this greatest of all worlds? Despite the fact that some of us may not have been wanted, or at least were not particularly planned, we're glad, even if no one else is, that we're here. This is how they feel. You know, F you, I'm happy. I don't give a crap about how you feel about me. So when I step on your people, when I rape and pillage your land and your people and everything like that, oh well, because happy-go-lucky me, because I'm here. I'm celebrating the fact that I'm even here. This is their mentality. And the birthday is the cushion. It's the vehicle for all this to be taking place on, or the biggest day for this to be taking place on. He said, you should give yourself a pat on the back. That's being a proud person. You know what I mean? Be proud about yourself. You should give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself whatever you want. Treat yourself like the king. Ain't that what our people keep calling themselves? I'm a king.
That's right. Yeah.
And this is all. It's irritating if you sit back and listen. It's irritating. It's a bunch of foolishness. He said, but that's a satanic way of being. Is for you to call yourself a king, call yourself a god, when nobody's even following after you. You don't have no dominion over anything at all. You're actually just a regular old Joe.
Ain't got no power.
You got no power. You just all you doing is kind of, you know what I mean, floating through life, man. But if you were the Satanist, that same person that's just floating through life, not even registering on anybody's radar, this person be patting himself on the back, talking about hey dog, talking to himself, hey dog, you the shizzle. You all that in a bag of chips. You deserve everything that you want. Matter of fact, take your pick at anything. Steal if you have to. If you can get away with it, steal. Why? Because you're a king. These people owe it to you. And you're like, what the hell? That's the same thing as the Satanist thing. Everybody is living as Satanists without even knowing it. This is the Satanist way of thinking. If you think like this, you can fit right in with the Satanist group, and they will be like, "Man, where you been the whole time, man? You know, we could have used a guy like you."
See, Naladina, she tried to say that sounds like self-love. No, that sounds like self-glorification. What are you talking
Come
about?
on. That's
Deify,
right.
deification, man. What you
Self-glorification.
doing? God is jealous. He says it over and over and over.
Right. Didn't we
That's
just
what a
cover
Satanist would say. A Satanist, like he was just reading, they would say it's self-love. They said, why not worship yourself? Then worship another God. Then worship something that you haven't seen. Why don't you worship something you have seen? That's playing onto the flesh in the carnal mind.
on. Got nothing to do with some honest. Oh, I just love myself. Oh, you're gonna try to spin that around? Love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's why I celebrate my birthday. I'm just me loving me. You're not loving you. You are deifying yourself because you ain't gonna do shit for God. Think about it. What are you gonna do for God then? Are you gonna bake a cake? Are you gonna sit there and gather all kind of people together? Are you gonna trade gifts in the name of God? Absolutely not. You're not even gonna be around on the Sabbath. When the Sabbath goes around, you're not even gonna be there. And you're gonna know Israelites. You're gonna know where they're at. You ain't gonna be there. That's what we saying. You like people don't realize what they saying and what they do when they celebrate a birthday. You making God, like Akbalak said, you make God jealous because, like I keep highlighting. I'm like, what you gonna do for God in the same degree? Are you gonna get upset when people ain't when your friends or your family members didn't show up to the Sabbath? You're not. Absolutely not. You're not even going to be at the Sabbath. You're not going to be mad that nobody didn't show up to the Sabbath. You're not going to show up to the Sabbath. You don't give a shit about what God says. But when it comes around to you loving yourself, all of a sudden, the world needs to stop. Everybody needs to pay attention. And if you didn't show up or you did something wrong on that day or you didn't got on the wrong page with them for whatever reason or not, you put these people on a crap list. You don't be liking this person as much, or you don't think this person is really one of them close ones to you. You know, but you won't do that for the Sabbath. That's what I be saying to you. I'm like, man, the Sabbath roll around, they won't even be around. Yeah, I said it. They won't even be around. They be the same people that celebrating their birthdays. They be the same people that be patting themselves on the freaking back, always trying to get some kind of some props or something. You be like, all right, okay, you understand the concept of glory. How many times have you glorified God? None. That's the thing, man. We don't understand what we're doing. It says right here, this is in direct contradiction to the Holy of Holy Days. Quote unquote other religion. What religion are they talking about? Ain't no other religion uses these terms, holy of holy, but the Bible. So they're talking about these people are in direct contradiction to the Bible. They try to make it seem like all other religions is encompassing that, but Satan don't got a problem with all the other religions. Satan don't have a problem with Buddhism and Islam. You don't see them over there forcing. They never forced any of them Buddhists to practice Catholicism.
That's right.
They only forced people that was practicing the Mosaic laws. They forced those people because these people are the Satanists and they attack the angels. We all know what the war is between the war in between Satan and random folks out there. It's between Satan. I'm just speaking from a Christian setting. Just from a Christian theater setting. We all know what the war is about when we're dealing with the Bible. From the Christian theatric setting, it's just Satan or the Satans, the devils against the angels. So when you look and you can identify who the devil is, You already know who the angels are or who the real people of God really is. Because you can find out who did they trip on the most. Who did the Satanists trip on? You'd be like, oh, they tripped on everybody, actually. Yeah. You'd be like, yeah, I know, because that's a characteristic of a devil. But who do they actually have a certain target for?
The Negroes, man.
No. Still to this day, it's the blacks.
Yeah, like, hey, and I got one thing to say, because she said, damn, you can't love yourself, so Israelites don't love themselves. Yes, we do. We love ourselves by following the dietary laws. That's how we love ourselves, by keeping ourselves healthy. We love ourselves by, by showing love to others too. It says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. That don't mean celebrate your neighbor's birthday just like you celebrate yours. That means show the same respect that you would want somebody to show for you to another. If you want somebody to give to you, give to another. If you want somebody to help you, help another. If you help yourself, help other people. That's how you love yourself, and that's how you love your neighbor too. We do love ourselves. We just don't love ourselves how Satanists love themselves, which is deify themselves.
Right. What you're doing is, Sister Naladina, what you're doing right there is, well, I'm not going to say that's what you're doing, but I will say if you were thinking this way authentically, what you're doing, what you would be doing is confusing the word love and worship and trying to make them synonymous, and they're not.
That's right.
When you are celebrating a birthday, you're not loving yourself. You won't ever even hear anybody say it. Nobody says, I love you on the birthday. They tell you, happy birthday. They don't tell you, I love you. Unless it's like maybe your parent. Oh, I love you, happy birthday. But everybody else, it's not about love. You ain't even sitting around there saying anything about love on your own birthday. It's all about you getting treated special. You don't care if they love you or not. You want to be treated special. In other words, you want to be worshipped that day. That's the day that you get to be a God. You're not loving yourself when you do that. You're just putting that little love spin on the whole thing so you can try to dip it in innocence. It ain't innocent, and we can see it right here. Even the Satanists is telling you what it means. They're like, no, when we celebrate birthdays, we already know we're talking shit to God. We're throwing everything that God said, we're throwing it right in his face, and we're saying we don't care. The hell with all of that stuff. This is what they're saying.
That's right. Because they know that it's a joke.
None of your Yahushais, none of your Yeshuas. They say we don't care about all of that. Everything that you think that you stand for, they say we're trying to shit on it when we do our birthday. Okay, that's what they're saying, man. And it's something that we got to go on ahead and just move forward and just say, you know what, we got to stop doing birthdays, man. There's on both sides of the table, it's bad. You look into the Bible, it doesn't say anything good about it. You go outside of the Bible, and the Satanist is literally telling you, hey, y'all, this is our thing right here. What you talking about? If you loved yourself, you wouldn't be eating pork. If you loved yourself, you wouldn't be causing God to be putting a curse on you because you wicked and you having pleasure in being disobedient. If you really believe in your own self, you would be looking out for your future, spiritually and physically. You would just be looking out for it. But our people, they don't love themselves. That's why they do drugs. And these same people that be doing all these drugs be celebrating their birthday thinking that they special.
That's right.
Talking about, I'm just loving myself. Anybody can say that. As you do something very, very, very destructive to somebody else.
Yeah, and another thing is, like, you know what I mean, with the birthday thing, like, say if people don't get their ways on their birthdays, a lot of people become depressed. You know what I mean? And a lot of people end up killing themselves too. You know what I mean? Because something didn't go their way on their birthday. You know what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There was somebody was just celebrating their birthday. You know what I mean? Not too long ago. You know what I mean? Somebody I know, and y'all they was all down because they felt like nobody. You know what I mean? Acknowledged. He felt like nobody acknowledged that day, and so therefore, you know what I mean? It was something that was heavy on him. I let him know. I was like, man, we don't. That's why we don't celebrate birthdays, because you know what I mean, you seeking self glorification when you're doing that.
For real.
Get out.
Hey man, that's real, man. I just now had a conversation with somebody also, and they felt like they got kicked to the curb over someone else's birthday because they wasn't catering to it.
That's what happens. If you don't make somebody else happy on their birthday, they don't want you around. Yeah. And they gonna keep it like that for a minute too. They're like, nah, man, this person dissed me on this day that I was trying to glorify myself or somebody else. And now I ain't messing with them until they, you know what I mean, they heart and heart, you know what I mean. Well, basically until they feel like, you know what, all right, I need this person again, or you know what I mean, whatever is the case.
Right.
So let me hit this person up. Come on, man.
Well, you got a verse?
No, as far as for birthdays, you know, because it says right there in Leviticus 18. And after the ways, 18:3, after the doings of the land of Egypt, whether you dwell, you shall not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whether I will bring you, you shall not do. Neither shall you walk in the ordinances. And if we look at the Genesis 40 and 20,
right there,
Pharaoh.
You got it right there.
Come on.
You see the screen?
Yep.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah, that's where I was going next. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up to the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among himself, his servants. So we can see right here that this is a custom of the Egyptians right here. This is the quote unquote Pharaoh. You see birthday 3 times in the Bible. It's when Pharaoh celebrated it and Herod celebrated it in Matthew. But you never see Israelites celebrating their birthday. God told us not to follow these ways.
Come on now. Yeah, man. Can you fill in for me real quick so I can find this one verse?
Come on.
I'm still sitting right here.
It also says in Jeremiah 10:2, it says that, thus says the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen. Period. And then it goes on, it says, be not dismayed of the signs of heaven, for the heathens are dismayed at them. So we know that Herod is considered a heathen. He's not considered an Israelite. He's not considered a Gentile. He's considered a heathen. And it says, learn not the ways of the heathen. Herod celebrated birthdays. Learn not the ways of the Egyptians. Follow not the ways of the Egyptians.
Right.
Pharaoh was celebrating birthdays. God is plainly saying, don't do this.
There you go. I cheated. Okay. Oh well. I cheated. I cheated. My bad.
It's good.
I found the verse though. It's John 7:18. He who speaks of himself, seeks his own glory. All right.
Come on, man. Bring it out, man.
Well, you see how it's weird, man. I just now messed up again, man. All right, here we go. He that speaks of himself seeks his own glory. But
my birthday.
Glory,
my birthday. It's my birthday.
Yeah.
You're speaking of yourself.
You're just speaking of yourself. And they seeking their own glory. They trying to be worshipped, not loved, worshipped.
Yeah.
But he that seeks his glory that sent them, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him.
That's right. Like, no, man, bunk that birthdays, man. We got to get our people right, man. We got to start keeping this Sabbath holy so we can build this kingdom of heaven. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. We ain't got time to be sitting here, you know what I mean, putting in y'all, because that's what they want. They want some type of gifts, you know what I mean, some type of celebrations. All that stuff that y'all doing could have been set aside and give used for the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
You could have took that money that you spent, got you some borders of blue. You could have, you know what I mean, bought you a garment.
Even shit, not to mention even maybe a sewing machine.
So yeah, a sewing machine. Somebody in the back chat, either Mike Killer.
Shalom, Edomite Killer.
Shalom.
Shalom.
What's going on with you, bro?
Yo, so they seeking self-glorification, man. Come on, man.
All right, we got a brother that hit the panel, Edomite Killer. What's going on, brother, man? You got something to add? Or you got a question or anything?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. When we look, you see right here, it says, by the Satanists. He said, you should give yourself a pat on the back. Buy yourself whatever that you want. Treat yourself like the king or God that you are. And generally celebrate your birthday with as much pomp and ceremony as possible.
Come on now, bring it out.
This is something that you see not only being conducted by black folks on their birthday. We do this every weekend. When I was reading this, my head went straight to the club scene. I was like, man, that's the club though. That ain't just the birthdays with the Negro. A lot of them, it ain't just a birthday where they celebrating or deifying, patting themselves on the back and all that. They do that every weekend.
That's where the older people, you know what I mean, the ones that's allowed to go to the club on their birthday, that's where they go. You'll see them there. You be like, oh, snaps! This is part of their birthday celebration. Somebody already threw a big old party for them. That's how they feel.
Yep.
And then they'll, you know what I mean, let the bartender know or whatever. Hey man, today's Wutu's birthday. And then if it's at certain clubs, they come through with
Well, I got a question.
Go ahead, brother.
Why don't you celebrate birthdays?
Well, we saying it, you know what I mean? It's self-glorification. You glorifying yourself on that day. You know what I mean? The Most High God, He's jealous. You know what I mean? Your birthday.
And where does it? And where?
Oh,
Your birthday.
where does this?
Boy,
Where does it say you can't celebrate? Like, where does it say that in the Bible?
You said where does it say not to celebrate birthdays in the Bible?
Yeah.
We brought out
He can go outside on a rock somewhere.
Genesis 40 and 20, and then after Genesis 40 and 20, you can go to Leviticus 18 and 3. Right? You line those two up. You see that in Genesis 40 and 20, Pharaoh was celebrating his birthday, and then in Leviticus 18 and 3, the Most High says, he told Moses, he said, tell the children of Israel this, after the doings of the land of Egypt, whether you dwell, shall you not do. All right. So you be like, okay, I see. You look at the lands, you look at what the Egyptians was doing, and you be like, okay, I see that they were celebrating birthdays. So I know not to celebrate this birthday. And then also another thing that Battle Axe was bringing out was the satanic view on birthdays. They use birthdays as a direct shot at the Most High. Right. They're like, you know what? We know that you want to be worshiped. No, we're gonna worship ourselves. We can't even see you. You know what I mean? Why worship you? We can't even see you. We finna worship ourselves. No, skip your holy days. My holy day is my birthday. That's how Satanists believe.
Right. Well, who's to say that's how someone feels when they celebrate a birthday?
That is how.
See how when they don't get they don't get up to their expectations, they have a negative response, which means that they were seeking to be glorified that day, and they didn't get it, or at least to the caliber that they expected.
That's right.
Because it's a form of worship. That's why when you look at Exodus 20 and 3, it actually encompasses that whole ideology when it says, you shall not have no other gods before me. It sounds like just a blanket statement or a vague.
I celebrate my birthday. I'm not making no one a god.
But you are, because you
making
have
yourself
become your own God, and when you celebrate your own, or the child is now your God that day.
And you saying this is a commandment not to celebrate birthdays?
Yes.
Yes, the commandment is covered in "Thou shalt not have no other gods before me." We look at the birthday, that is about deifying oneself.
No, I'm not saying
Hey,
I'm a god on that day though.
It
we're
doesn't
Come
not
matter.
on,
saying you
bro.
are. You
It
conducting
doesn't matter if
yourself
you're
like
not
it.
saying
My
it.
bad,
It's
Valerie.
still by default.
So I'm being a god because I'm celebrating myself, or are people celebrating me?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Yes,
People are worshiping you.
because
Where are they at on the Shabbat? Are they giving the same energy that they giving to you, to the Most High God? Are they burning? Are they giving the Most High sweet savor when He asks for it?
no,
No,
they're not.
Well,
because you
so
know
say someone that
God is a
keeps
living God.
say someone that does do them things, and he celebrates his birthday. He's still in transgression.
Yes, he's being lukewarm. That's what it's called. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, okay, I'm gonna celebrate God, but I'm gonna also celebrate myself and others too.
Right, like Christ said, you can't serve two masters.
Facts.
You're gonna either love the one and hate the other. You're gonna cling to one and then despise the other.
All right, hell yeah, man. I'm Edomite killer,
A
man.
lot of our people, they cling to the birthday. They cling to the acknowledgement and the fulfillment of one's expectations on a birthday, and they don't do that with God. So you serve two masters when you do it, because they don't actually care about how God really feels. They're like, well, it's the Sabbath. I'll just stay at the house.
On the real.
And you'd be like, dang, that's it. You're like, but when on your birthday, what do? They'd be like, oh man, I done spent $600 on my outfit. Bought 3 bottles of, you know what I mean, whoop-de-whoop. Met up with someone else. We ain't seen each other in a long time. We had a blast. You'd be like, dang. And then when it came on to the Sabbath, oh, I just sat down and watched TV, ate chips and popcorn. Oh man. So the Sabbath ain't really nothing to you, and your birthday is just like, come on, it carries all the weight. I wonder if you're making God jealous.
Come on now, come on, because God is a jealous God. He said, "Have no other God before me." Does He mean like don't? Is He only talking about like, yeah, man, don't be worshiping B-bomb, don't be worshiping Z-bomb? No, He's going, because He calls all the other nations, other people, gods when they're in rulership. He says, don't revile the gods in the rulers of your people. So that's how you know that people are even considered gods, quote unquote, in the Most High's eyes. Come on, man. Watch this. Let me get it real
have no
quick.
other gods before Him. And the birthday is it. That's the coldest thing, because a lot of our people, we always think that we're always in the clear with the 10 commandments. We'll be like, oh yeah, I ain't breaking none of the 10 commandments, man. I just don't keep all the other ones, but the 10 commandments, I'm good. You be like, nah, we break them all the time.
Yeah, that's Exodus 22. Exodus 22 and 28. It says, "Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the rulers of your people." That's what it says.
Right.
So if you are worshiping yourself, or even worshiping others, that's like a form of worshiping other gods.
Right.
Come on now.
That's why when you look, you're like, oh, okay. The Satanists, they understand that very clearly about that deifying of the birthday. Very clearly. It's just we don't know. But today we do. You know?
And then, even hey, that's crazy, because people be saying like, yeah, I'm a god, but then then I'm gonna worship my birthday, and then you gonna biting people to worship your birthday. Well, if you a god and you worshiping your birthday, you putting another god before the Most High, no matter how you take it. No matter how you take it.
Watch this. Look, they got some more on what we read. I didn't even read the rest of this, but check this out. Just keep this. He says, it is interesting that birthdays are considered the most important holiday to these Satan worshipers. This and talk about the founding of their church called Wapenskist, and Halloween are the other ones of importance to them. So the number one is birthday. One right following right after that will be Halloween. You know, and of course we're not surprised by the Halloween, but I didn't know that the birthdays was above Halloween. You would think that Halloween was the number one satanic day. Nope. They have one that's even more satanic, your birthday. He says, of course, early Christians did not celebrate birthdays, nor did the early Jews. Nor have real Christians ever celebrated Hallows Eve.
That's right.
It says, Origin of Alexandria. He said, writing over 2 centuries after the death of Yahushua, follows this same line when he recorded a diatribe against the memories of birthdays, indicating that at the time of his writing, a day to remember the birth of Yahushua was not part of the church calendar. What? In his homilies on Leviticus, speaking on the aspect of birth origin, this is what he states. This is old school stuff right here, right? Not one from all of the saints is found to have celebrated a festive day or a great feast on the day of his birth. No one is found to have had joy on the day of his birth, of his son or daughter. Only sinners rejoice over this kind of birthday. For indeed, we find in the Old Testament Pharaoh, king of Egypt, celebrating the day of his birth with a festival, and in the New Testament, Herod.
Come on now.
However, both of them stained the festival of his birth by shedding human blood.
That's a fact. That's 100% fact.
That's a fact.
Herod, he let one of the, Pharaoh let one of his prisoners go and then killed the other. And then Herod killed John the Baptist on his birthday.
That's right. He said, but the saints not only do not celebrate a festival on their birthdays, but filled with the Holy Spirit, they curse that day. Boom. And we got it. Job, Jeremiah, and David. They all did curse the day that they was born. I know about Job, I know about Jeremiah, but I think I probably missed the David verse.
Yeah, I missed the David one too.
Yeah, I don't know everything, but you know what I mean? We can study and stuff and get down to it though. But yes, even David, King David. And I know for a fact Jeremiah and Job, I can get the scripts if you want it. They cursed the day that they was born. They actually said, cursed be the day. They both said it like that, like, cursed be the day.
Oh, that's facts.
Where we at? No, it was like in verse 5. Where is that at? Come on now. Blue letter, don't fail me now.
I know in Ecclesiastes 7:1, this ain't Job. It says a good name is better than precious ointment in the day of death than the day of one's birth.
That's a good one. Oh, that one's from David.
Yeah, okay.
What verse was that?
Ecclesiastes 7:1.
Oh no, that wasn't David.
First
Job is Job 3:3. He said, "Let the day perish wherein I was born." He said, "Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night in which it was said there was a man child conceived." All right. And then you go.
Jeremiah 20 and 14.
20 and 14. Cursed be the day wherein I was born. I don't know why it didn't pull up when I typed it in. I typed in this just like this. Cursed be the day, didn't I?
Yeah.
And it didn't give me no Jeremiah 20. Why not?
I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, nah, man, Blue Letter don't fail me now. Because it be doing something on you, you know what I mean? But I'm going to keep on going. He says, cursed be the day wherein I was born. Let not the day wherein my mother bare me be blessed. So that goes for you, Naladina. I hope you are still here to see that. It says, cursed be the day wherein you was born. Let not the day wherein my mother that bare me, wherein my mother bare me, be blessed. And then look what he says. He says, cursed be the man who brought tidings to my father, saying, a man-child is born unto you, making him very glad.
Oh, okay. I remember us. That David one is.
Huh?
That David one is Psalms 51 and 5. Yeah, there it is. I remember that verse too. I just did, because it didn't say David, you know what I mean? And it just basically said from my mother's womb, behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and in sin my mother conceived me.
I don't know. It was kind of there, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I was able to just say, like, I didn't really catch the David one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I know about Jeremiah and Job. I know exactly how they said it and everything. I actually covered this before in the past. It probably was not online, but we covered it at least at one of our sittings. But look what he says. He adds more onto this whole concept and why he's even saying this. Watch this. He said, and let that man be as the cities which the Lord overthrew and repented not. And let him hear the cry in the morning and the shouting at noontime. But look, because he slew me not from the womb, or that my mother might have been my grave, and her womb to be always great with me. Wherefore came I forth out of the womb to see labor and sorrow, that my days should be consumed with shame. So he's cursed it because of these in particular reasons. It's because when we came out here today, all of our people be running around with pomp celebrating our birthday, but you ain't nothing but a laborer / slave. You live a life of straight sorrow, not happiness and bliss and blessedness, like the scripture says that we are supposed to have. So we're over here trodden down and appointed to be killed and an outcast and a reproach amongst all the nations around us right now. And we over here talking about happy-go-lucky for the day that I was born in this state of being. That's not a wise, broadened way of thinking. Your tunnel vision, and it's a foolish way of seeing things, because there's nothing to celebrate. We got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of implications behind your actions. That's all I gotta really say, man. And, you do some certain things and you think that it's innocent and light, and you don't understand that there's some real deep, serious implications behind your actions, whether you are willingly participating in those messages or not. It doesn't matter. You're still guilty of the actions, man. And I'm gonna have to hit my people. I gotta hit my people with this verse, but this is a good verse. He said, it says in Leviticus 5 and 17, it says, and if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Lord, though he knew it not, though he knows it or not, don't matter. Yet is he guilty? That's not a question, that's a declaration. In other words, yet he is still guilty and shall bear his iniquity. That means, man, you got a punishment coming. You still get a punishment for the misdeed. Don't even matter whether you know it or not. So all those that believe that they gotta hide and run from the word of God, ain't no man. Man, you think God is to be mocked? You think that you can actually literally undercut, trick God, and like fool him, play him out, and then sit there and play innocent at the end, like I didn't know. You be like, that's not like God ain't stupid. He stands at the door. He's sitting there right there, looking right at us all the time. Like right now, as I'm speaking, I can feel somebody standing in the threshold of my doorway right now. And yes, he doesn't sound like he's always like, you know what I mean? My buddy old pal. I don't feel that all the time. I feel like you can feel eyes burning on your neck. You can feel that every word that you say is being weighed. Record is being set against you, man. You don't want to play with this. That's all I gotta say. You don't want to play with this. This is one of the most frightening things for me to realize is really that God is a living God. And I actually understood it. Once I actually really understood it, I became terrified, frightened. Because I know I be saying all kind of crazy stuff. I be thinking all kind of weird things, all kinds of just, you know what I'm saying, stuff that you be looking like, man, you would like to get away with it. You ain't getting away with it. That's the part, man. That's the part. That's the part where you got to face the music and repent and convert. In other words, make a big drastic change with your life, man. Back to the Satanists. He says, what is the origin of birthday celebration? Birthday celebrations are actually rooted in paganism. What? Birthday celebrations are actually rooted in paganism. According to the Encyclopedia of Americana, the 1991 version, this is what it says. The ancient world of Egypt, Greece. Didn't we cover that, Akbalak?
Yeah.
The ancient world of Egypt, Greece, Rome, and Persia, all pagan nations right there, celebrated the birthday of plural gods, kings, and nobles.
Facts.
So, once again, when you celebrate your birthday, you're glorifying yourself as somebody dope, first and foremost, and now we need to praise you that day. But this was supposed to be done by, this was usually done by just nobles, kings, and then when they would be given reference to gods. In other words, you had to really be a dope dude to be celebrating birthdays. You can't just be flipping burgers at IHOP. Talking about today is my birthday. Who cares? You ain't nobody. This is the root. Now we're just covering the root. Of course, it has morphed into pretty much everybody is now a god. Even the baby, a 1-year-old baby, is now being treated like a noble of one of these vast empires. Ain't that ironic? He says, authors Ralph and Adeline Linton reveal the underlying reason for this. In their book, The Lore of Birthdays, they write, Mesopotamia and Egypt, the cradles of civilization, were also the first lands in which men remembered and honored their birthdays. What? Can we get that in that Leviticus? What was that Leviticus where it says, do not learn after the way of the Egyptians? Akmalak?
That was Leviticus 18 and 3.
Look at that. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt, shall you not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall you not do. Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. That'll be birthdays.
Listen, you see, Naladina said y'all still sleep. What? How after we showed you all this, your response is we still sleep. You're working with emotions. That's not a fact. That's just something you feel. But you don't have any proof that to what we're saying is false. We showing you what the Satanists believe. We showing you what the Bible says. We showing you from the beginning. We showing you from the New Testament all the way to from the Old Testament all the way to the New Testament of these people celebrating birthdays. And we're showing you where God says not to follow these customs. We show you in Exodus 20 that we aren't supposed to have any other gods before the Most High. We showed you in Leviticus 18 that you should not follow the ways of the Egyptians. Pharaoh celebrated his birthday. Balak is brought up. Egypt, Greece, Rome, and Persia, they all celebrated birthdays. Those were heathen nations. We showing you. We're not
Pagans, all of them. Pagans. Heathen.
They're all pagans.
Edomite killer.
Right, that's real, man.
You can't say we sleep, but you know what I mean? That's a blanket statement. Y'all sleep. Prove that we sleep.
No,
We acknowledging there's already people that believe how you believe, and they're called Satanists. You got to remember that.
Yeah, now man, maybe you should hit the panel. I'm gonna put the link out there. Hit the panel. You know what I mean? Because I know that you can't be serious. I know you had a smile on your face when you said we still sleep. That wasn't an authentic statement. You don't really mean that. Because I'm like, wait a minute.
We were celebrating birthdays before we got into the truth. So was we woke? Hold on, Alex. We were celebrating birthdays before we got to the truth. So was we woke then?
For real, man. Like, wait a minute, man. We're just going into the encyclopedias. We went into the Satanist book. Like, and we're asleep. Have you ever even went to the Satanist book? No. Have you ever even seen the Encyclopedia Americana? No. Only encyclopedia I remember is the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Right.
The Encyclopedia Americana sounds like it has some dope information inside of it. We're looking at it. I'm not asleep. We're looking through real information. This is real stuff. We can't be asleep.
Yeah, we ain't making this up, man.
Like, I know that you can't mean that. I know you probably really just mean, hey, you destroying my plans for my birthday. I had plans to celebrate my birthday, and now I don't feel like I can get away with celebrating it this year. That's what, and you're mad at us about it. That's what you really mean to say. That's how I'm going to translate. We're still asleep. I'm going to translate that right now to actually you're just trying to say we did a good job and you need to repent. You're going to repent. You just don't feel good. I know. Not all medicine tastes as well, but it's going to make you feel better in the end. Don't trip.
That's right. Bring it out.
He says Mesopotamia and Egypt, the cradles of civilization, were also the first lands in which men remembered and honored their birthdays. Leviticus 18 says that we're not supposed to do these people's ordinances. We're not supposed to learn after their ways. Well, one of their ways that they actually coined on earth is the honoring of the day that you were born. He said the keeping of birthday records was important in ancient times, principally because a birthday was essential for the casting of a horoscope. So now it goes all the way and plays into the horoscope thing. And the bag of worms or the can of worms is starting to explode on us.
The horoscope, man, that's the demonic outlook. That's what the horoscope means.
Right. That is actually we covered it. That's exactly how you worship Satan.
That's right.
Like that's one of the highest practices. I'm not saying the holy of holy days. That's your birthday. But the practice, the essential practice of Satanism, Luciferianism, is the acknowledgement of the horoscope. That is it. We covered it on a couple of videos before. If you go and look at the video, there is no such thing as planets. You go and look at that. Go look at that video. I suggest that anybody that's watched this video, go and watch that video after this, and then you'll see. You're gonna be like, dang, we covered it with Mazuma. All right,
Come on, man, bring it out.
we covered all of that stuff with Ranfam, Mazuma, Molat, like all those things all plays, and if you keep studying all that, you will start seeing that one, like we just studied birthdays, and one chain was chain linked to another event, which is the horoscope. You study Mazumov and Moloch and all that. You're going to start learning that those concepts are chain linked also to Satanism.
That's right.
It is real shit. I mean, excuse my language. This is real dirty stuff that we're living amongst, and we have no clue on what we're doing. But watch this, man. This is the whole reason why God has to put the light back into the world, because this place is full of darkness now, man. He said, so there is a direct connection between the pagan practice of birthday celebrations and astrology, horoscopes, and fortune telling. Wow.
Yeah, because on that day, what they do is on that day, they'll observe you. And then, you know what I mean, take people that's born around that same time and observe them too. And then write something down about it. Like, okay, this is their scope, or this is how they was getting down on this birthday, man. So this person's angry. This person is meek, or this person is jealous. You know what I mean? That's what they do on those days.
You know? And that's crazy. That's the trick. They do that. They actually look at that stuff and program. They become programmed by that.
That's facts.
I watch people in jail. They'll be sitting there and they're like, man, I got to check out my horoscope. And I'll just look at them. And then they'll come back. And I asked the dude one day, I said, so what did it say about you? He said, well, it said that today, man, I'm going to be energetic and blah, 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 blah. And like that whole day, like I guess he was convinced to himself that he's going to be energetic, and he was cutting up that day. I'm not saying that he got into any fights or nothing like that, but it was just like he was acting out of, outside of himself that day.
Yeah, he was trying to fulfill that horoscope.
Yeah. And he was getting himself in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, not too much trouble, but I was just watching. I'm like, he's getting himself in trouble and stuff over that horoscope. Like, he probably wouldn't have been doing none of this stuff if he never even read that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. This stuff is crazy, man. Another thing, this is not a side note. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper now. When you're doing like the horoscopes and the fortune telling and the birthday and stuff like that right there is like super rooted and like contract binding. All right, you're binding the contract with a demonic entity, and that demonic entity now will have has legal right to meddle inside of your life, because you're making these binding contracts like horoscopes and fortune telling. So a spirit is saying these things like, yeah, all people that's born in September today, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be energetic. And if you say, and inside your heart, you accept that as, okay, I accept that. You just now got you got some kind of arrangement, an agreement, something that we don't understand, but it's something that you have tied to another realm, a dark realm of demons. That's the reason why our people, when you see in the time of Christ, our people, they were dealing with a lot of demonic possession.
That's facts.
They was dealing with demonic possession, man.
Multiple demons.
Because these people were coming out of Babylon and what? Persia.
Yeah. Egypt.
Greece. And they were dealing with the Romans. And they right, and you ain't lying. We can look all the way up into, I think it was Ezekiel 30. We can see how these people, Isaiah 30, see how our people was using Egypt as like a safe haven. So our people
Wait, hold on. She said, my bad, battle last week. She said they demonize things they don't want you to know that benefits you. No, people ain't demonizing horoscopes. They don't demonize horoscopes. The rulers of this land, they promote all the stuff that we're talking about. They promote birthdays. They promote celebrating of, you know what I mean, all the holidays like Christmas, Easter, and all that. You know what I mean? President's Day. They ain't demonizing that. Who is the they that you're talking about that demonizes things?
They never demonize none of these things. They don't demonize birthdays. Today, we are demonizing birthdays.
That's right.
Like that's all. The only time I've ever seen or heard of anybody demonizing a birthday is us right here today.
That's right.
We're demonizing it. We're actually literally tying it to the Satanic Bible. We just demonize birthdays, but we're using historical references through encyclopedias that the whole world actually has access to, and we're proving that it is legit. It's proven to be rooted in paganism, not
That's right.
about somebody trying to hide you from thinking that you the dopest thing going today because you was born in conjunction to this day 30 years ago.
And how is that going to benefit you? Celebrating your birthday. How is that going to benefit you?
Right. When we already pointed out all the negative, and nobody can say that we're lying, pointed out all the negative results that we have seen with our own eyes from birthdays.
That's right. I'm talking about real life time. Not too long ago.
Man, you know how many people die on their birthday? People be dying on their birthdays.
Nah, no, this dude, man, this dude, he's a rapper out here. You know what I mean? He was trying to, you know what I mean, do his rapping thing. And on his birthday, man, he decided to get drunk, and a dude went on a race, and he crashed and he died on his birthday. Rest in peace to the brother, man. But that's what happens, man. You just do things, you know what I mean, that you wouldn't usually do on any other day on your birthday.
Right. My sister, one of my sisters, man. She said because she married a white man one time. She's not married to him anymore, but this is a long time ago. She married a white man a long time ago. Repeat this. And they doing the white thing. They loving the birthday. And it was a little girl. It was her birthday. And people.
Yes, Edomite killer.
They said
exactly what I'm talking about.
They said that it was a real bad day. That day, oh my bad leaving you out there. They said that it was a real bad day already, the whole day. But the kid ended up having a birthday still. But one of the things that they did is they all played the Ouija board. The whole family. And the kid is asked, what am I going to get? No, what else is going to happen on my birthday? And the Ouija board spelled die. Real talk. She died that same day in a car crash.
Whoa.
They went home. They were trying to go home and got into a car crash. Got T-boned. Dead. I was like, wow. And you see what they were doing on that same day? They was fortune telling on their birthday, man. That's just doing horoscope. That was the most demonic thing that was going on at that time, and everybody thought it was innocent. They thought that they was just having a fun time with the board games, being Americans.
I was playing with a Ouija board innocent.
You said you was playing with it.
No, he said how.
He said how was it playing with a Ouija board? What?
Innocent. That's how people think. They think that they ain't doing nothing wrong when they doing that.
Because a Ouija board, I don't know how old y'all is, but Ouija boards are sold in Toys R Us. That's why they think it's innocent. Mattel sells Ouija boards.
Dang.
When you buy a Ouija board, all you gotta do is just go to the store. You ain't gotta go to no deep, dark, cryptic location and get you a Ouija board. You go right there next to the Yahtzee, it'll say Ouija. They spell it with a Q. I think they still up in there right now.
White people crazy as fuck.
Yeah, Ouija boards. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, and when I was a kid, they used to be on commercials and all that. The commercials used to just be about a whole bunch of little white kids sitting around the Ouija board, and one kid would be like, "Man, you're moving it," and the other kid would be like, "No, I'm not. You're moving it." And then somebody else could be like, "No, man, I can feel you moving it." He'd be like, "No, man, I'm telling you, man." Other dude be like, "No, man, none of us is moving it." And it was just sitting there just spelling shit. That was a commercial.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's crazy. These were regular commercials I grew up seeing, man. Right there on this television, Fox, watching
like Dominic's shirt.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like Dominic's shirt.
What he got?
Now he got on his shirt. There's these white kids around this other white kid laying on the ground around this like demonic circle, doing some demonic stuff.
On his shirt?
And it says like demon time or something like that.
Yeah, demon summoning time or something.
Oh hell! What?
Yeah.
He's wearing that right now?
No, he be wearing it though. He wears it, and we always say something like, "Hey man, you gotta throw that away, man."
That's what
I'm saying. Man, it looks dope. No, it's not. That's demonic.
It looks dope. This is crazy. This is a crazy time that we live in now, man. Where Satanism, like I was saying earlier, I said Satanism is a religion, and where religions, you got to find like where is the land of Satan? We know where the land of Buddha is at. Excuse me, I'm just saying B-bomb. We know where that's at. We know where the land of the Hindu gods is at. Like I want to know.
Europe.
Europe
is the land of Satan.
Find the Hindu gods. You like somebody to point you to the direction.
Europe.
You like, where do I go to find the Islamic gods then? They'll point you into the general direction. And then you be like, all right, so every religion, you can point me into the direction. So where is the place of the Satan gods?
Europe.
And then they'll be like, right there. No, I'm talking about blatant Satan. We know that Christianity is Satanism also. We know that. But if you look at it that way, that we got to look at them all, and they all get encompassed equally. We like, oh, Buddhism is Satanism also. Islam is Satanism. You like, all of them is Satanism. You like, but what about just bona fide Satanism? Like, where is the blatant satanic religion? You like, oh, that right there, my friend, that exists only in one place. You like, where's that? You like, it was created by a man that was born in 1930. His name was Anton S. LaVey. He was a musician and a writer. So this dude right here was with the wicked stuff. And he was from America. And you go and look at that America, and you'll see this is a demon nation. This is the devil place. This is where the satanic religion was created. This is the home of Satanism. What? This is the home of blatant, hey, I'm against God and I'm proud of it and I'm wearing that on my shoulder as a patch. You like, wait a minute, I don't know about that. That don't exist nowhere. You like, shoot, right where you guys at. Matter of fact, California, they say if Satan would be walking around anywhere on earth, they said he would be mostly frequently seen in Hollywood. What? Hollywood.
Where say that at?
That's a saying.
Yeah, the white man is the devil.
Huh?
That's Satan. The white man is Satan.
Yeah, that's the same. And it's the truth.
Man, I feel like everybody that's white is Satan, and everybody know who's white, and it ain't just white
Yeah.
folk. Y'all call each other.
That's why they call Hollywood Holly weird. And you look at the you know about the Hollywood, that's the wood that they use, that witches use to make wands. You use it from a holly tree. So when they named Hollywood, it wasn't no joke. They was calling it witches' wands. This is a place of spells, seances, witchcraft. In other words, open Satanism. Why do you think they be over here, Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, damaging all them kids? They're doing all this stuff to these grown-ass men.
No.
Hollywood be doing stuff to children and grown men. This is a bad place. We live in a real demonic place. Okay, now check this out. Reading on though. Watch this though, because I didn't get to read all of this.
I'm finna get on my phone because my bad. I'm finna get on my phone because my computer finna die.
Oh, okay. All right, but peep this now.
That broke down ass computer.
Oh yeah, you need to get that covered. Look, he says, not surprisingly then, the ancient Jews did not celebrate birthdays, regarding them as pagan. Said also in the World Encyclopedia, the World Book Encyclopedia 3416, it states, the early Christians did not celebrate his, talking about Christ's, birth because they considered the celebration of anyone's birth to be a pagan custom. So that goes against that goes against Christmas. That right there just now stuck a battle axe right through the skull of Christmas and the celebration of birthdays. This is in the encyclopedias, man. This is not something that is hidden knowledge. Like I said, this is the land of open and blatant satanic worship. They took the pagan thing and they went even further with it. They said, man, we're not even going to sit here and try to make it seem innocent. We're going to encompass that whole deity of wickedness and evil that is against the children of God. Like that one. Who? You're like, yeah, whatever the Bible was talking about that hated the children of God, he's against them. He's he come to steal, kill, and destroy the Israelites and all that stuff. You're like, yeah, that's you're talking about Satan, right? You're like, yeah, well, we worship him then. Bump it. We all about him. No wonder why y'all getting dealt dirty, okay? It's because Satanism was the practice and the acknowledgement of the religion of Satanism was created here.
Sick motherfuckers.
What makes you? What else would you expect will be happening to the people of God? I wouldn't even be a real Satanist if I didn't have some Negro that I'm sitting around here, you know what I'm saying, messing over. Think about that. To be a real Satanist, you got to really be messing around some Negroes. You got to mess around the children of God. You got to do you got to put in some kind of work. To be a real gang member, you got to put in some kind of work. You know what I mean? Everybody's cool with you being a good companion and having a tolerable personality. That's all cool. But in the time and the place for that inside of a gang. But that's not that ain't all that's going to keep you in the loop. In other words, you know what I'm saying? That ain't the only thing that's going to keep you in the loop. You got to put in that work. You got to cause harm to somebody or insist on some kind of extortion of some goods or something. You got to commit some kind of crime and to help further the agenda of the game. That same thing applies to Satanism also. That's the reason why they set up Christianity, and that's why everything that you see and that they try to make seem innocent and that they feed us or talk us into accepting, that's why you got to question all them things, man. You got to second guess everything. You got to do a deep investigation, because these people this is the home of Satanists. All right, Satanists. So you would be an idiot to sit around here docile about the things that's going on around here. He says the early Christians did not celebrate. Oh, my bad. He says down to the 4th century Christianity. This is where we at. Down to the 4th century, Christianity rejected the birthday celebration as a pagan custom.
4th century? Ain't that the Roman Renaissance era?
No, that's not the Roman Renaissance era, but this was during the fall. This is when their kingdom started falling and ours started rising up. So you will start seeing a lot of new things springing up and a lot of changes occurring at these times right here. It's because now they call them the first Christian fathers. Their whole little movement is actually for real now. It's growing. It's turning into something really for real, and it's a force to be reckoned with. That's when you start seeing the pollution and the tainting of the Christianity.
Right. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, you're right. That was in the beginning of the Dark Ages.
Right. Because this is now the Christians going out with a fight. I mean, the Catholics going out with a fight. They ain't just, you know what I'm saying? They ain't taking this loss laying down. They fought they way out of rule. They didn't just lay down. He says down to the 4th, and now you're talking about physically. They probably did some of that too, but I'm talking about like they fought that spiritual war. He said down to the 4th century, Christianity rejected the birthday celebration as a pagan custom. To satiate this point, notice also the record of the first century historian Josephus. The Jews in Christ's day knew God's attitude toward birthday celebrations. Nay, this is what it says. Nay, indeed, the laws does not permit us to make festivals at the births of our children. What? Nay.
I heard that.
Absolutely not. Indeed, the laws does not permit us.
I heard that.
At the birth of our children. Yeah, the scriptures actually tells you do not add or take away from anything of that law. So when you actually start celebrating your birthday, you just added to the law. You just added another festival, or you just now added another holy day. What? Boom.
Come.
I wish I had the sound effect. Well, I don't wish I had it. Just at this moment, it would have been good. But I'm not really the guy for the theatrics. But I'm just saying that would have been a good point for a big bomb sound. Boom. But anyway, he said history of celebration of birthdays in the West. He says it is thought that the large-scale celebration of birthdays in Europe began with the cult of Mithras. A cult of Mithras, which originated in what? Persia, but was spread by soldiers throughout the Roman Empire. Before this, such celebrations were not common, unless it was in Egypt, and hence practices from other contexts, such as Saturnalia, which is like Christmas. Christmas is Saturnalia also.
Come on.
Such as Saturnalia were adapted for birthdays. All right. So when you look at the practices of Saturnalia, so practices from other contexts such as Saturnalia were adapted for birthdays. Wow. In Saturnalia, they used to have citywide orgies. Okay, so you can imagine what's going on that day. All right. Citywide. A group of men will bust in your house and just take your wife. There won't be nothing you do. But you so demonic and into this weird paganistic culture that when the dude busts into the door, you probably gave a couple of them dudes high five and you went off and busted in somebody else's door with a group of other men. Like that's how it was. Saturnalia was so bad that they outlawed Christmas in America when they first came here. When the first quote unquote founding fathers of this nation started out up in here, man, Christmas was outlawed because those people was folks that was inside of the Saturnalia areas. Man. Real talk. I'm not saying they did it or not. I don't know about all that. I'm not going to add my own information to it. I'm just saying that that's the truth. And then we all know why they outlawed Christmas in the United States for like 100 years. Did you guys know that?
Nope.
You didn't know that Christmas was outlawed in the United States at first?
No.
Yeah, watch.
Nah, I ain't know that.
Yeah, watch.
There it is.
See? Christmas was illegal in the United States until 1836. It was considered an ancient pagan holiday. Interspersed with the text were images that appear to be historical documents supporting the claim. However, no verifiable citations accompanied the post or meme. At one time, in both America and English history, Christmas was indeed regarded as a pagan holiday. But it's not true to say that the festival was banned in the United States until 1836. So now they're basically trying to retract on it. But no, it was. And we can always, if you just keep looking, there's way more literature on it being banned and the practices of it thereof. Now watch this. I'm just going to show you a picture of Saturnalia. Saturnalia is an ancient Roman festival and holiday in honor of the god Saturn, held on the 17th of December of the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities through to December 23rd. The holiday was celebrated with a sacrifice at the temple of Saturn in the Roman Forum and a public banquet, followed by private gift giving. That wasn't no public banquet, man. It was mass orgies, man. He said was celebrated, but this is Wikipedia. He says, in the Roman Forum, in the public banquet, followed by private gift giving, continual partying, and a carnival atmosphere that overturned Roman social norms. Gambling was permitted, and masters provided table service for their slaves, as it was seen as a time of liberty for both slaves and freedmen alike. A common custom was the election of a king of the Saturnalia who would give orders to people. Look at this. That's why the birthdays took on some of the contexts of Saturnalia. Here's a part right here. Because the election of the king now is predicated upon one's birth. That's all. That's the only difference. He said the common custom was the election of a king of the Saturnalia, in contrast to the birthday, which is predicated upon someone's birth, who would give orders to people which were to be followed and preside over the merrymaking. That was all the sexual things too. The gift exchanged was usually gag gifts or small figurines made of wax or pottery known as sigillaria. The poet Catalyst called it the best of days. Saturnalia was the Roman equivalent to the earlier Greek holiday of Tronia, which was celebrated during the Attic month of Hecatomaboin. Wow. In late midsummer. It held theological importance for some Romans, who saw it as a restoration of the ancient golden age, when the world was ruled by Saturn. Wow. Or I'm just going to say S-bomb. The Neoplatonist philosopher, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, Porphyry, something like that, interpreted the freedom associated with Saturnalia as symbolizing the freeing of souls into immortality. Saturnalia may have influenced some of the customs associated with later celebrations in Western Europe occurring in midwinter, particularly traditions associated with Christmas, the Feast of the Holy Innocents, and Epiphany, not to mention birthdays. In particular, the historical Western European Christmas's custom of electing a lord of misrule may have its roots in Saturnalia celebrations. So, practices from other contexts, such as the Saturnalia, were adapted for birthdays. Christmas is also relevant because December 25th was the day of celebration of the birthday of the sun god Mithra. That was the World Book Encyclopedia notes. Because Wikipedia, you go on Wikipedia, it's not very concrete, but it's usually close enough. But you can get a good idea. I like to go to it because I know that that's what most people are going to end up running into anyways. It says, Christmas in 354 AD, Bishop Liberius of Rome ordered the people to celebrate on December 25th. He probably chose this date because the people of Rome already observed it as the Feast of Saturn, celebrating the birthday of the sun. So, all you're doing is turning yourself into S-bomb, basically, in other words, in one way or another, when you are celebrating one's own birthday. So not only are you deifying yourself as a god, you're actually deifying yourself as a in particular god if you actually had some type of historical knowledge about the foundation of this birthday practice. You would be like, oh man, I'm turning myself into S-bomb today. And Saturn is always synonymous to Lucifer, Satan. It is not, you're not going to find the study of Satan, and you're not going to get too far in it without finding how they made it synonymous to Saturn. We actually covered out on one of the videos before called There's No Such Thing as Planets. So he says, long ago, the average person never paid any attention whatsoever to the anniversary of their birth. Like I was saying, I pointed out, I was like, it was only to the nobles and to kings and then to what they venerated as gods. But a regular old Joe flipping burgers at IHOP, you ain't got no claim to be special that day. You ain't nothing. He says the initial pattern that developed concerning the celebration of the birthday of their deity once each year at the winter solstice. This is the origin of Christmas. Since the winter solstice was considered the quote-unquote rebirth or birthday of the solar deity. That's in Natilis Sol Invictus, or the nativity of Sol or Sun, the unconquerable. This alone marks the behavior of originating from the rebellion against Yahweh, who is the one and only Elohim of heaven and earth. Remember that Yahweh commanded that we not learn the ways of the heathen. Deuteronomy 12. Later, people began to celebrate the annual birth of their king at the same time as their deity, aligning their ruler with the same honors given to their deity. All right? So it didn't matter what day they were born. If you're a dope dude, Saturn day rolls around, guess what they'll do? You be celebrated too that day because now you have become pretty much synonymous to S-bomb, Satan himself. That's the God that you become. He says, aligning their ruler with the same honors given to their deity. In their minds, their ruler became an anthropomorphic version of their deity. Wow. Like I just said, they become Satan. In the East, average people slowly begin to celebrate their personal birthday once each year on what they believe to be New Year's Day. Eventually, people develop the custom of observing their personal birthday on the annual day they were actually born. So New Year's is another day of celebrating your birthday also. We didn't know that. I didn't know that. But celebrating your birthday was a day that people all celebrated at a time, all in unison, on what was considered, whatever they considered was the day of the new year. Like, let's say, like today, it'll be January 1st, everybody is celebrating their birthday. So when you go and look at the New Year's party, everybody is celebrating their birthday. They even has like kind of like a birthday atmosphere. They be having the same kind of decorations and the same kind of icon, you know, it's just the same image. But we don't know that. We just think like, hey, it's just the birth of. We're just celebrating a new year. I made it to another new year. That's the same thing as celebrating your own birthday. Once again, you're being Satan on New Year's, and you're being Satan on your quote-unquote birthday. It's all heathenistic, pagan Satanism. Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. Irenaeus and Tertullian omitted from their list of feasts. Origen, glancing perhaps at the discreditable imperial Natalitia, asserts that in the scriptures, sinners alone, not saints, celebrate their birthday. What? Sinners alone. That means only sinners, not the saints, celebrate their birthday. Let that be word to those that still think that we're asleep. He says, or Norbius can still ridicule the birthdays of the gods. My bad, Doc. You catching all this, man? This is heavy. He says, in their essay entitled Birthdays, Jewishly, Lisa Farber Miller and Sandra Widener point out that the Encyclopedia Judaica is very blunt on this topic. This is what it says.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was saying, that New Year's is another form of reveling. You know what I mean? It's like going to the club. It's still another big old celebration. And it's somebody's, you know what I mean? A lot of people's birthdays fall on that too. So it's still birthday celebration, like he was saying.
You're right. People
Same
actually
thing.
celebrate that birthday on that day if it falls anywhere close to it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
If
They're
it's like
like, you
on the
know what?
4th of
Even
January
though
or
my
the 15th
birthday's
of
on
December.
the 3rd of January, I'm finna still celebrate it on New Year's because everybody's gonna be celebrating.
Exactly. If it's on the 28th of December, they'll say the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. And you're right. When you see the people at the club, they just doing the same thing that is described in Saturnalia.
Con.
Don't they be buying each other drinks?
Yeah.
That's gifts.
Making merry.
Doing that merrymaking.
Yeah.
And for the lucky one, for the lucky guys out there, some of them is even partaking in lascivious behavior, right?
That's right.
Straight Saturnalia, man. They become Satan themselves every week because they do be thinking that they special. Tell me about a person that's up in the club ain't looking around up in there with them high looks. Everybody up in there got high looks.
Facts.
Every last one of them got high looks. He's eight. He did. The celebration of birthdays is unknown in traditional Jewish ritual. That's what it says in the Jewish Encyclopedia. That flat out. It's unknown. Nobody does it. He says, therefore, the celebration, originally, even as more and more Gentiles began to profess Christ, so much that they outnumbered those of Jewish heritage that did, the early Gentile leaders also did not endorse the celebration of birthdays. What? No early church writer endorsed the observance of birthdays by Christians, nor are they ever listed in the early observances of the Christian church. Therefore, the celebration of birthdays was clearly not part of the faith which was once for all delivered to the saints. No early religious church writing from the 2nd century that I have seen, and I have read most that are available, seems to endorse or even suggest the celebration of birthdays by any who professed Christ. Although he was not part of the Church of God, the writings of the early 3rd century Catholic theologian Origen of Alexandria shows that even that late Orthodox Catholics were against the celebration of birthdays. The Catholic Encyclopedia states, Origen, glancing perhaps at the discreditable imperial Nationalitia, asserts that the scriptures and the sinners, didn't we just read this? That in the scriptures, sinners alone, not saints, celebrate their birthday. Okay, yeah, last paragraph. According to cogwriter.com on birthdays, Christmas is coming. Quiet so. But what is Christmas? Does not the very term itself denote its source, Christ Mass? Thus, it is of Roman origin, brought over from paganism. But, says anyone, Christmas is the time when we commemorate the Savior's birth. It is? And who authorized such commemoration? Certainly, God did not. The Redeemer bade his disciples remember him in his death. But there is not a word in Scripture from Genesis to Revelation which tells us to celebrate his birth. Moreover, who knows when and what month he was born? The Bible is silent thereon. It is without reason that the only birthday commemorations mentioned in God's word are Pharaoh's, that's in Genesis 40 and 20, and Herod's, Matthew 14 and 6. Is this recorded for our learning? If so, have we prayerfully taken it to heart? And I'm going to answer him about that, if so. For whatsoever things, Romans 15 and 4. For whatsoever things were written before time were written in our learning, that through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So we can actually make it through all this. So you want to make it through all this? You want to have hope? You got to get rid of them birthdays, because the birthdays being done by the heathen enemies, and how each time it was recorded, they shedded blood on those days. And one of them in particular, they killed John the Baptist. A high-ranking Israelite brother in his time. We ought not to do them same practices. So you want to call it loving yourself? I'm going to call it what the scripture says. I'm going to call it what the scripture says the person is doing, man. In the book of Sirach, it says that a person, they will make excuse. Look at this. I'm going to cheat a little bit. See that? That I want everybody to see. I do it like that. I'm not really trying to cheat. It's just that I don't want you guys to not know how to navigate through the blue letter and through the Apocrypha online. You know what I mean? I show you guys, you look back on the video, you can just look at like the way that I do it. I just use like keywords that's mentioned in the verse that you can always memorize. Like that word excuse. I'm like, okay, excuse, boom. You just type that word in, and no matter where you at, if you could be in the heat of a moment, you could be, you know what I'm saying, focus on something else, but you just need to just get that scripture out real quick and stay focused on something else, boom, you can just type in that word excuse real quick, hit that enter, boom, finish saying your statement, and then use this. But check this out. A sinful man will not be reproved. So you want to still do your birthday after you hear this. It's only just because you are what it says. Even what was reported historically, only actual like sinners alone. That's it. Those are the type of people that celebrate their birthday. People that is against God's commands. A lot of the times, openly and blatantly, especially like now with the Satan religion, it's done deliberately to be against God. So a sinful man will not be reproved, or woman, but finds an excuse according to his will. So you're saying, I'm doing it because I love myself. I'm just going to say that's an excuse. And you're in sin when you do that. So I suggest to my people, man, you guys come out of that.
Con.
Come out of that, man. But yeah, it's cool, man. We got 2 hours in of it. That was a good one, man. I really like covering the birthday. We never really covered it over here at One Nation. We just forbidded it. But today, I have to give praises to the Heavenly Father through His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. Bless us with the Holy Spirit to be able to lead us to the truth of all these things that Christ let us know about. Even back then, He was like, yeah, man, you know about how Herod killed John the Baptist on his birthday? We was like, yeah, man, it was on his own birthday. He killed one of our dudes, man. He said, yeah, man, that's all like some satanic stuff, man. Like, what? Yeah, them dudes is dudes, open Satanists. Like, oh, for real? Like, y'all, open Satanists. These people ain't shoot. They just pretending to be benevolent. These people are demons. Watching the future, they're gonna make a T-shirt and they're gonna be having Israelites running around with them. It's gonna be talking about like activate demon mode or what did it say? Demon time. You're like, and these people are gonna be buying it. People are gonna be cool with it.
Demon summoning time or something.
Demon activation mode. You're like, demon activation. It sounds like you are.
Hey, your cool thing about it was 3 white kids. 2 was around the white kid that was around the that was laying on the floor, like in the middle of the demonic symbol. You know that circle,
like open
circle with the star in it.
Possession. Does it sound like an open invitation for demonic possession?
Yep.
Telling the demons, hey, come right on in. What? There's room for more. Open vacancy. Come and get it. You know what I'm saying? You're like, wow. Y'all blatant with y'all people, man. Our people, we ain't as smart as we need to be. That's all I can say. I'm like that. I was gonna say it like that. Like, man, we're not as smart as we need to be. We need to be smarter. We live in a satanic nation, man. Y'all.
Man, hey, y'all, don't despise reproof. Be wise, man. For those, you know what I mean, that it kind of hit. We wasn't trying to throw nothing at you. But if it hit, no pun intended, man, we ain't no respect as a person, man. We just doing what we supposed to do as children of the Most High God, which is warn people of their iniquities and bear suffer them not to sin. So, you know what I mean, just to take that reproof and, man, just look at it as, you know what I mean, God giving you a chance instead of looking at it like, man, they trying to take this away from me. No, man, God is giving you a chance, man. Y'all take that chance, man. Don't get mad because, you know what I mean, you got to throw away birthdays, man. You saving money. You can look at it in all types of ways, man. All types of positive ways. You know what I mean? You saving money. You ain't putting stress on people. You ain't causing nobody, you know what I mean, to feel a certain way. You know what I mean? If you don't celebrate it, if you don't even agree with it, if you be like, nah, I don't do that, they gotta respect you for what you don't do. Like me, when I stopped celebrating birthdays, you know what I mean? At first people was like, oh, you don't celebrate birthdays? And they never called me again to come to one of their parties ever again. It was like, oh, we already know what he on. And they don't feel no type of way. They actually respect me for, you know what I mean, how I get down. They not like, man, that dude's whack. He ain't celebrate my birthday today. They don't feel no type of way if I come through or not. They ain't not even expecting me to come through.
They don't even expect me to come because they know what we about.
If everybody had that mind frame, they would feel like that about everybody.
That's true, man. And people will stop celebrating and taking it so serious.
Right. They will start doing that Sabbath. You know what I mean? Because on the Sabbath day, man, there's all types of good stuff going down. There's blessings coming around everywhere you go. You know what I mean? You get, you know what I mean? Like when we do that, when we start holding these feast days, how we truly should, man, you see, it's going down. Man, you know what I mean? You can on the Passover, you know what I mean? You can bring whatever your heart desires. You know what I mean? You like, no, I want to bless somebody on this Passover today. I'm finna bring them this. You know, even on the Shabbat. On the Shabbat, man, you can bring gifts to people like that. You know what I mean? You ain't gotta do it. You can just do it out of young you know what? I know that this person, you know what I mean, they need a, you know what I mean, say for instance, somebody's been needing shoot, I don't know, whatever it is that you've been seeing that they needed. You know, I'm like, you know what I mean? They ain't been sitting there wanting it. They just, you see that, okay, this person needs this. You know what I mean? I'm gonna come through on the Shabbat, I'm gonna bless them with this right here. And you bless them with it. You can do that every Shabbat.
Right.
When we gathering together, man. when we get into our own, man, there's a lot of good things you can do, man. Yeah, I mean, you eating, we gathering together. Old nation not desired. Come on, man, we getting our stuff together.
That's true, man.
Spot, man.
Come on, man.
Hold on.
You know, you gotta get this stuff right because we are in the last day. So, we're in the
What's
last
going
day.
on, y'all?
It's not. We're almost gone, man, and we really got to get rid of all this weird ass Satanism that we don't know about. So we just covered how there holidays like Christmas, New Year's, that's Satanism. Birthdays, that's Satanism. Horoscopes and fortune telling is tied to birthdays, which is the ultimate practice of Satanism. That's what it's all about. In the scriptures, it forbids us in Leviticus not to be going after the Egyptians' ways, and they were the first ones to be doing birthday worship for gods, not for regular humans, but for gods and nobles and kings, as same for all these other people. Babylon, Greek, Rome, and Persia. These things right here is something that we have uncovered and exposed as satanic practices, man. And our people, you must repent to the Almighty God for every birthday that you conducted, and break those bonds of those demons that has rule over the life, man. I'm telling y'all, this is real talk. We got to break these bonds. We got to repent for our sins. We got to acknowledge where we have gone wrong so we can actually get back in good with this covenant of the Most High God, man, and reap the benefits, which is being blessed, as it says in Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14 or 1 through 13. You'll see that, and it'll let you know clearly, man. If y'all want to obtain that new kingdom and get up out of here and make it through all these plagues and all this upcoming famine and drought, all these droughts and everything that's happening, basically, if you want to make it through the end of the world, you're going to have to get rid of birthdays. You're going to have to stop celebrating them things. You're going to have to start going around, you know what I'm saying, revelings. You got to stop doing these things, man. You got to stop doing all that carousing and stuff, man. Stop deifying yourself and then coming up with excuses saying that you're just doing it because you love yourself. If you love yourself, you'll keep all the laws of God. Because those are all instructions on how to benefit, man. And you see somebody violating and doing some action that is going to cause them to get tripped on by the Most High God, you will do the best that you can to guide them into the right path. That's what it's all about. You ain't trying to do all that, man. You tripping. You actually just worshiping Satan, and you playing for the other team. You playing for the losing team. I'm gonna say that. What? Yeah, I said it. You the all-star to the losing team. Yeah. With that being said, man, Ak Malak and Battle Axe Finahaz in the house. That's what I meant to say. We have Brother Yahusop came through as Edomite Killer. We had Knowledge Deeper in the house. Shout out to our brother, 100% Real Torah. He said, and I agree with his statement. He's like, every birthday party always has tragedy. Why is that? You know, because you don't already know. Straight Satanism.
Straight Satanism, man. Bring it out, man.
We don't even know what we doing, man. We are because that baby or that woman or that young man over there has now become Satan.
Yeah, and another one more thing. If you seen this video today and you go and celebrate birthdays, you can't say, and something happens to you when you doing some celebrating of the birthdays, you can't say, God, why this happened to me? God tried to save you from whatever tragedy, like 100% Torah. Let you know, like, nah, man, there's tragedy always around birthdays. God was trying to save you from a tragedy that's coming your way, that comes to people's way that celebrates birthdays.
That is true, man. And that's all we trying to do too, man. We do all this stuff out of love, man, because we know that you could benefit from you changing your life, and we all know that. We don't have to explain that. You know, I'm sure that everybody knows what we're trying to do. Everybody knows that we playing for the winning team too. Yeah, I said it. We playing for the winning team. God will prevail out of all of this. In other words, ain't gonna be no birthday practices, so you can come up with excuses all you want. But at the end of the day, though, hey, that ain't about to be making it into the that ain't leaving the United States. That's about to stay right here. The Negro is going to move above all of that. They're going to elevate it. They're going to pass that right on up, man. And those that want to believe and love these lies, because you ain't a God. You just become Satan at it. Satan is not the Israelites' God. So for that day, you have invited Satan into your life. That's something that I ain't willing to gamble with, man. So for my people out there, man, that's still, on the fence about this, hey, go back on that video, look at the actual documented historical research on birthdays, and then you will know that what you're doing is way out of bounds. There is nothing in the Bible that actually allows it. You won't read it where it says that we can actually add our own holidays. And it has nothing to do with God. Like, you didn't win no war because you didn't fight off some invaders from spoiling the temple. You didn't lead no big revolts like Maccabees or nothing. So why would you sit here and celebrate your birthday? You don't celebrate Maccabees' birthday. You don't celebrate Isaiah's birthday. You don't even care when he was born. But these are men that is mentioned in the Bible that actually prophesy and make up the percentages of the Bible. But yet we over here patting ourselves over that. Get mad when we ain't treated as special as expectations, or at least as we expected everyone should. Come on, man. That's that becoming, they call it let me find that word. I really want to find that. They say they become like this ruler. Where was that? No, it said that they become a ruler of the lawless or the unlawful ruler or something like that. You guys remember what it was saying about Saturnalia? That Saturnalia, you become that ruler of unlawfulness. You know, that's what you're doing that day. You become Satan and you become this ruler of unlawfulness.
Right, because it's not
like
lawful to be
Saturnalia
worshiping
elect.
birthdays. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. It's not lawful to worship birthdays. Leviticus 18:3, man.
Right. See, you become the king of the Saturnalia.
Deuteronomy 12, Jeremiah 10. Follow not in the ways of the heathens.
There it is. When they are placing themselves as the birthday boy or the birthday girl, you become the Lord of misrule.
Hey, say that one more time, Battle Axe, man. One more time.
I said when you have the kid as the birthday boy or the birthday girl, they become now the Lord of misrule.
Hey, what source is that, man? I know, because there's a source right under it. Where's that? What is that? Where's that source at?
I'm about to share the screen.
I ain't finna show you.
Hey, bro.
Look on the screen. Just look.
Boom. This was in Wikipedia. The Lord of Misrule. In England, the Lord of Misrule, known in Scotland as Abbot, the Unreasoned, and in France as...
Bro, that's not God, bro. Them is Muslims.
No, we know it's not God. That they celebrate birthdays.
Yeah, but in jail, what you gonna go? You gonna be a Muslim or a Hebrew?
I'm an Israelite.
So what you gonna be when you go to jail?
I ain't going to jail. I'm an Israelite, though.
Go to jail.
Hold on, my bad, y'all.
Okay, then.
What am I gonna be? What do you mean what I'm gonna be? I'm gonna be me, an Israelite.
Listen, though. Like, okay. So they say, if you not a, I don't know how to put this. I watch it on Instagram. If they say, if you not a motherfucking, what's that called?
Oh, no, I'm gonna read this. He says, and in France, as the Prince des Sceaux, he said, was an officer appointed by lot during Christmas tide to preside over the Feast of Fools. And that's all a birthday is, just a Feast of Fools. He said, the Lord of Misrule, today now is just the birthday boy or girl, was generally a peasant. Wow. Or subdeacon. I'm about to go into that. That's crazy. Or subdeacon, appointed to be a charge of Christmas revelries. That's that partying and doing all that BS, which often included drunkenness and wild partying. This is, come on, man. We're still doing this stuff. We're doing it now. It's call it celebrating my birthday.
Still drunken and partying, reveling.
We call it going out to the club. That's what we do. We gotta let's be honest with ourselves and act like God is sitting here in this lesson watching us. We I know what he's saying. He's saying that this is what we do. It's like this is actually demonic. We don't understand what we do. We think that we're just having a good time. We're not having a good time. That's like all kinds of bull crap pops off in these type of settings that everybody's supposed to be having a good time in. If this is good, then why are there so much bad things happen from these things that we do?
That's right. Come on, man, bring it out.
Because it's not good. We're actually becoming one with Satan that day.
That's what I was just telling this brother right here. I said, if birthdays was good, then why do people have a bad day on their birthday? If it's supposed to be a good day. If it's supposed to be good, why is bad things happening? Because he even had a bad time on his birthday. He tried to say, "Oh, it's still good though."
No, there is celebrating birthdays is how you worship Satan.
Yep.
That's a fact. You become Satan. You are completely against God by celebrating a birthday. We proved it.
That's right.
It's approved. There's nothing to say. This is not, some things are not debatable. This is not debatable.
That's right.
We didn't make it up. You can't find it in the Bible. It's not in there. So you got to say, well, how bad does it go? How bad is it? And then you look, you're like, oh, snaps. The satanic people are saying, this is our high holy thing. When you wanna sit there and really.
Hey, what's that one word that you say you can just type in and it'll pop, the verse will pop up? What was it again?
Excuse?
Excuse. Yeah, excuse. There it is.
Yeah, you type in excuse.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use that real quick.
And then you get in Ecclesiastic or in Sirach 32:17. A sinful man will not be reproved, but finds an excuse according to his will.
Yep.
That's what it says. Like, you know, and we're not making this up. We're not sleep. You know, like the sister said, or sleep, like she said. Like, there's nothing sleep about it. We're not even making none of this up. We're not. If I was just sitting here just giving you my opinion and theorizing, like giving you my theories, like, you know what I mean, and hypothesis, then I feel you, man. This is all debatable. I might be wrong. Everything like that. You like, that's not what we just do, though. We covered it with the Bible. We covered it with multiple encyclopedias that literally lets you know it's rooted in paganism. It's rooted in Satanism. You go to the Satanic Bible, they're like, we push it to the fullest. That's the biggest day for us. We got other days, but the biggest day is your birthday. They say, why? Because you become a god that day. And then you be like, what God? Just the you God? They're like, no. You become Satan. If that ain't enough for people, man, there ain't nothing. There is no waking up. There is no waking up somebody out of birthday. If they see what we just showed and they still holding on to it, there's nothing that you can show them that'll get them out of it. Nothing. A person can walk into their birthday party and explode, literally, spontaneously combust, catch on fire. They will just sign it off. They'll say something like, well, it didn't happen to anybody else. Never happened to me. Like, that's how the sinful mind works. That's how they find an excuse according to their own will. They keep raising the bar higher and higher. You know, that's just the way the brain is working, man. That's the heart. That's the heart at play. That's the heart. That's not the spirit. Just the heart. The heart is running our people. You know, because you want to be worshipped that day. Everybody that does that birthday, when you don't think that, what you think? What you think is happening? Man, that's a demon being fed. That's a demon inside of this person. And they get fed that day. They get what they came. They get what they came to look for. They showed up and they've been involved in your life and they've been here and there and no, for real, manipulating some of these things to get you to go in this route and do certain things. He said, because at the end of it all, he's going to be worshipped anyway. And at the end, he's like, and I'm going to step to the side. Satan's going to step right in on his birthday, quote unquote. He's like, and we're going to be worshipped that day. And anybody that doesn't worship me properly that day, I will and shall become the Lord of misrule to him. Now I'm ticked. You know. Now I think I got an excuse to be flaunting around, pushing around this attitude. That's what it is, man. That's why we gotta come to the terms. Boom. And just say, I didn't make up none of this stuff myself. I'm talking about when somebody practices their birthday. You're like, you didn't make that up. Like, no, I didn't. You're like, yeah. So we're telling you now, it was made up by pagans, people that didn't believe in the Almighty God, people that actually, when they found out about the people that did believe in the Almighty God, they attacked them. Okay? So these people were classified more like the enemies of God. The enemies of God created birthdays, and now here you are in 2022, choosing your enemy's ways, setting aside the commandments of God so you can actually follow the customs of what? White men. So yeah, man. So with that being said, man, I think I said enough. We always reach the 2.5 hour mark, and then that's when we go on ahead and close and wrap it up. And today is no different. We had 2 hours and 26 minutes, and I want to keep up with the pattern. I don't want to beat the dead horse, and at the same time, you know, we still got other things that we must take part in today. So with that being said, Shabbat Shalom. I don't really like to say that. I'll say Han Shalom, grace and peace. Han Shalom, Maranatha.
Han Shalom, Maranatha.
Han Shalom, Maranatha. Our Lord shows up, y'all. He be standing at the door, my people. We in some real crucial times right now, man. To where everything that we do and we say is being recorded. We got no excuse. All right, so because by the deeds of the law, what? Because by the doing, because by somebody else doing of the law, none of your deeds will be excusable.
That's right.
Better believe that. Watch. And if you don't think that that's how it goes, come get on the platform, step up to the platform, or send me a message on this video. I get them all. Send me a message, and I'll look right in. We can set it up where we can have a real smooth and logical discussion, and you will know for a fact that you are wrong. So with that being said, all praises to the Heavenly Father, Bahasham Shah. We thank the Heavenly Father for sending His Son to die for our sins, to iniquity. You feel me? So we can actually stand before the Most High. So we can actually stand before the Most High without this filthy garment. We be clean and presentable. That's right.
Khan.
That being said, man, I'm about to go ahead and let this jam play. Unless you got something to wrap it up with, I'm just gonna find a jam.
Nope. Let's jam. And let's jam.
All right. Shalom.
All my diamonds really water, only thing I know. Yeah, you signed to the streets, but I'm signed to the cross. All I ever took was lessons, I ain't never took a loss. I don't work a 9 to 5, only thing I know is boss. All my diamonds really water, only thing I know is boss. Tell my baby girl to get it, I don't even know the cost. Shout out Pooh, come get her back in blood if you want her. If Jezebel was talking to me, yeah, I wasn't pushing the bar, I need my back end. Whipping all these beats, I might just back in. Yeah, the back security just went up, I might start taxing. Yeah, I'm a preacher and they really mad cause I'm packing. Yeah, I'm packing for my demons and I'm packing for my ops. I ain't running from the devil, I ain't running from no cops. Put the game in submission, yeah, I got this junk on lock. Used to say I'm from the D, but I'm really from the birds. Don't get it twisted, I'll still put your dog up on that curb. Bible Blick, he really spitting hard, I might just put a switch on it. What's on the devil mind? Yeah, I might just put my blick on it. If I slide down, you know I hit his face. I can't hit the ground. Bible Blick got a silence on it. It can't make a sound. I need security. I'm talking crazy. I know they hearing me. If I'm shaking in my boots, it's cause I'm dancing. Ain't no fearing me. Ain't crying over spoiled milk. It ain't no tearing me. Got my ice on. Don't turn a light on. It might blind you. Only stay with heat seeking bullets. It's gonna find you. Candyman, say my name, dog. I'm right behind you. Rollie on my wrist and say the date. It tell time too. Yeah, you know I'm never lacking. Yeah, you know I'm staying packing. I'ma spin him, make him moonwalk like he Michael Jackson, fighting like an All-State commercial. I got good hands. Pull the heater up, air him out. I got good fans. I let the money do the talking for me. I got good bands. Right arm tired of shooting Blick. I need to switch hands. Dog praying on my downfall. I had to switch mans. Hit him in his leg. He leaking out. I made him switch pants. It's gonna get real rocky, baby. A-side. Put the double head on the table where my placemat.
Come, blessings, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne. Y'all know what it is.